Hello, welcome to my first podcast. I'm Aleroart. I'm a cartoonist here in Chicago. I also teach workshops at three different art schools. Making making this podcast is one of my passions that I've been wanting to do. Actually, it's been a thing that I was just trying to figure out, like, where can I go with this podcast, and just to understand more about myself and creating and growing as a brand called Aleroart. I've been doing this cartooning, illustrating for more than 16 years professionally, but I've always been drawing, and I've just always been trying different mediums, whether it be making comics, character designing for self-publishers, for freelance and such. I just always felt like I could do more with a brand. Like to talk more of that like down the line, but more importantly, this is basically my intro of creating a podcast, and I hope you guys can join along and follow through. Like I mentioned before, I'm a cartoonist. I've worked on more than like say 10 years of just trial and error of making creator-owned books. Would do the comic book convention circuit, rather just majority of it be here in Chicago. I have been doing working in Artist Alley, as far as like just having a table set up and selling product and merchandise. Majority of it being actual comic books. I did make like stickers and just certain things that go into Artist Alley, where you would have creator own work, whether it be fan art, like making watercolors or ink drawings for customers. So that was that for I guess to talk about what I do there for comic conventions. I've been teaching more than 7 years, and it's pretty much just like workshops. And basically the way it goes is a lot of the art programs, and it's very fortunate to say this, but a lot of the art programs are being removed at Chicago public schools, and a lot of the programs that are after school are actually stepping up to have 1 to 2.5 hour workshops for students, and I've been fortunate enough to be called in to help the kids like create comics. So I've been doing that, like I said, last 7 years off and on. I feel like teaching comics to the kids is just one of those things where it's now they're past the part of YouTubing and always on their phone and whatnot. And I just felt like having my art class lets the kids see that they could create characters, or even lead to like emojis and logos and brands and stuff like that. But that's what pretty much for my art classes consist of. That besides that, having the kids make comics. So that's just another part of my my background as an art teacher. One of the reasons why I made making this podcast is it's just a new outlet. I've created comics, still making comics, and I make apparel, like shirts, sweaters of my brand, Aleroart, which is all connected to Aleroart. Creating my own brand has always been a passion since I was a kid. making taking a blank white t-shirt and just drawing random characters or even existing characters, but making it more in my style. And I didn't even know that I was doing that, so I guess it's been in me to do that. I also like to think that making this podcast, I could be able to share processes. A lot of people I find ask questions, but asking other creators in general, whether it be comics or making product in general, kind of doesn't get their voices heard. And if so, I I just try to answer as much as I can, rather it be social media. And I just thought that this podcast would be one of those. So stay tuned. I like to have episodes based on certain processes of, say, putting comic books together or creating a shirt and having it sent to a printer, and how to have it sent to the buyer. I'd like to talk briefly about how you use your social media, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and such. But yeah, like I said, this is basically a trial and error first time video or podcast recording, just to pretty much explain what I want to have for this online podcast called Aleroart. So that being said, I look forward to creating more of these podcasts, and then I don't know how long they'll be running, but be something that I will be learning trial and error. So that being said, I'm like to just go like a rundown of like the things I would like to be discussing in my future podcasts that I would like to create, which would be on creator-owned comics, creator-owned like branding. Basically, it's gonna be creator-owned. That's what I would like to push, and I would hope that if there's something that comes across would help your branding. I talk about certain things of like exercises that consist of just working on certain aspects of designing or illustrating. By no means am I my style is more cartoony, but yet it's distinctive compared to would be the norm, if I could say that right. And I probably didn't. But I like to talk about that, as well as how to go about putting together like a book, and how I totally believe that you should have your own creator-own vision as a way of being what's the word I'm looking for? Stepping away from what other people are doing, where it's great to create fan art. At the same time, it'd be cool to make your own vision. So I like to pretty much just wrap this up by just saying I will have more of a structure podcast for next time. Doing these 9 minutes plus introduction of what I do and who I am. I hope the next run of the podcast just gets more smoother. So again, I'd just want to thank you guys for participating and checking out the podcast, and like to talk more in the future, and stay tuned. My name's Alejandro Rosado, and I go by the brand Aleroart. And you can check out my work at aleroart.com, as well as follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and Twitter is all Aleroart. So that being said, I will continue on working on my craft, and hope that you guys do as well too. So thank you again. Stay tuned and have a good night. Peace. Bye.